Everyone talks about morning routines. Wake up at 5. Cold shower. Journal. Read books. Meditate. Protein shake. But nobody talks about the moment where most men completely lose control of their day. 2 in the afternoon. That's where discipline quietly dies. Your focus disappears. Your brain slows down. You grab caffeine. Open social media. Eat garbage. Tell yourself you'll restart tomorrow. And if you repeat that cycle for years, something dangerous happens. You slowly become mentally weak without realizing it. Not weaker physically, weaker mentally, more distracted, more impulsive, more exhausted, more dependent on stimulation just to feel normal. Because modern men are not recovering anymore. They are consuming themselves into exhaustion. And if you fix this one part of your day, your energy, focus, mood, discipline, sleep, confidence, and even the way you think can genuinely change faster than you expect. Not through motivation, through recovery. When I was younger, I thought discipline meant pushing harder all the time. Work through lunch, ignore exhaustion, eat at the desk, keep grinding. More caffeine, more pressure, more stimulation. I thought that made me strong. But eventually I realized something. A lot of men today are not lazy. They're overloaded. Their nervous system never gets a break. And what most people call rest today is not rest at all. Scrolling TikTok is not recovery. Watching shorts during lunch is not recovery. Replying to messages while eating is not recovery. That's just more input. Your brain keeps running the entire day, and eventually your mind starts fighting against you. You lose focus faster. You feel irritated more easily. Your attention span collapses. Silence feels uncomfortable. You constantly need stimulation just to avoid feeling tired. And the scary part is, most men think this is normal. It's not. Your brain was never designed for this level of non-stop noise. Think about the average guy today. He wakes up and immediately checks his phone. Music in the shower. Podcasts during breakfast. Notifications during work. Videos during lunch. Music at the gym. Netflix at night. Scrolling in bed. His brain never lands. No wonder so many men feel mentally fried by 30. No wonder attention spans are collapsing. No wonder so many guys feel exhausted despite sitting all day. Because mental exhaustion is not only created by hard work, it's also created by constant stimulation. And this is exactly why your midday routine matters so much. Because the middle of the day is where your brain either resets or keeps drowning. So let me give you the midday routine I genuinely wish somebody had taught me earlier. Not influencer fantasy advice. Real things, simple things, things that actually work in normal life. First rule, never spend your lunch break scrolling. Seriously, this alone can change your entire day. Most men think social media relaxes them. It doesn't. Your brain is still consuming, still reacting, still comparing, still overstimulated. You go straight from work stress into dopamine overload. That's like trying to recover from running by continuing to sprint. And here's the crazy part. A lot of men don't even remember the last time they sat alone with their own thoughts for 10 minutes. The second silence appears, they panic and grab the phone. That should scare you. Because if you cannot sit quietly for a few minutes anymore, your attention is no longer yours. And the men who control your attention eventually control your life. Your habits, your purchases, your emotions, your focus, your future. That's why protecting your mind is not soft. It's survival. So here's the first part of the midday reset. Go outside. I don't care if it's cloudy. I don't care if it's cold. Go outside anyway. Walk for 10 to 20 minutes, without your phone if possible. Movement wakes your brain up again. Walking improves blood flow. Getting daylight during the day helps your energy and sleep later at night. And walking after eating can reduce that heavy afternoon crash most people get. But honestly, the biggest benefit is mental. Your brain finally gets space. And some of the clearest thinking you'll ever do happens during quiet walks. No music, no podcast, no scrolling, just thinking. I've had moments during simple walks where problems I had been overthinking for weeks suddenly became obvious. Because your brain can finally breathe. Most young men today are overstimulated to the point where silence feels uncomfortable. That is not strength. A strong mind can sit quietly without panicking. Now let me tell you something that took me years to understand. Energy is not only physical, it's emotional. You can sleep 8 hours and still feel exhausted if your brain never fully relaxes. And you can sometimes sleep less, but feel sharp because your nervous system actually recovered. That's why some men feel dead after sitting at a desk all day, while construction workers still have energy to laugh, train, and live afterward. One drains the mind constantly. The other often gets movement, sunlight, physical release, and mental separation. Modern exhaustion is psychological as much as physical. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because now you stop asking, how do I force myself to work harder? And you start asking, how do I stop destroying my energy unnecessarily? That question changes lives. Now let's talk about food, because this is where most men quietly ruin the second half of their day. Huge burger, fries, sugary drink, dessert, then they wonder why they feel half asleep afterward. Listen carefully. Food is either fuel or sedation. You know that feeling after a massive fast food lunch? Your eyes get heavy. Your brain slows down. You stop caring. You lose sharpness completely. That's not weak discipline. That's biology. Your body is now trying to survive the crash you created. And then what happens? Another coffee, sugar, energy drink, more stimulation. Most men spend the entire afternoon trying to recover from their lunch. You don't need some perfect bodybuilder diet. But if you want stable energy and mental sharpness, your lunch matters more than most people realize. Protein, fiber, water, chicken, eggs, rice, fruit, Greek yogurt, wraps, vegetables, salmon, nuts. Simple foods that give your body energy instead of knocking you unconscious. And stop rewarding stress with junk food. This becomes a dangerous psychological habit. Bad meeting? Sugar? Stressful day? Fast food. Exhausted? Energy drink. Eventually, your brain learns this pattern. Pressure equals self-destruction. Disciplined men break that cycle early. Now here's the point where most men watching this are going to laugh. But this might actually be the most powerful thing in the entire video. Power naps. A power nap can completely change your afternoon. Not a 2-hour depression nap. 10 to 20 minutes. That's it. Because here's the scary truth. Most men today are not physically tired. They are neurologically exhausted. Their brain never stops processing information. Noise, notifications, stress, content, messages, artificial stimulation all day long. A short nap interrupts that cycle. Even closing your eyes in silence for 10 minutes can reset your nervous system more than another coffee ever will. That's why elite athletes use recovery strategically. Military operators use recovery strategically. High performers use recovery strategically. Because recovery is not weakness. Recovery is maintenance for the brain. And if you can't nap, do this instead. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. That's it. No music, no phone, no stimulation. Just sit there and breathe slowly. And every time your mind tries to run away, bring it back again. That's meditation, not becoming spiritual, not becoming enlightened, training your attention. That's all it is. And honestly, most men fail this instantly. Not because they're weak, because their brain has been trained to panic without stimulation. Try it yourself. 5 minutes. No phone, no distractions, no movement. You'll understand immediately how addicted modern brains have become to noise. And honestly, if you work from home, this becomes even more important. Same chair, same screen, same room for hours. Your brain never fully exits work mode. That's why even a short walk, gym session, or simply leaving the house during lunch can completely change your energy. And midday gym sessions are honestly underrated. Most gyms are quiet. Your energy comes back. Your confidence comes back. Your posture changes immediately. You return sharper than before while everybody else is fighting sleep after lunch. And here's something younger men really need to understand. Real discipline is not just about pushing harder. Real discipline is also knowing how to recover correctly. Because burnout usually doesn't happen from one difficult day. It happens from months of accumulated overstimulation. Months without silence. Months without recovery. Months of fake breaks. Months of constant input. And eventually the brain starts slowing down to protect itself. That's why so many people today feel numb, distracted, mentally foggy, emotionally flat. Their brain is overloaded. So let me give you the midday rules that genuinely changed my energy and focus. Never eat lunch while working. Never scroll during recovery. Walk every day. Get daylight during the day. Move your body daily. Hydrate before caffeine. Protect your attention aggressively. And learn how to sit in silence again. Because a calm mind is becoming rare. And rare things become valuable. Now listen carefully to this part. Your life is not built in huge dramatic moments. It's built in small daily resets. A good afternoon creates a better evening. A better evening creates a stronger morning. A stronger morning creates momentum. And momentum changes lives. Most men lose the second half of the day completely. That's why they never become consistent. They wake up motivated, crash mentally by afternoon, waste the evening. Repeat the cycle. But the men who learn how to recover instead of collapse quietly separate themselves from everybody else over time. Not louder, not flashier, sharper, calmer, more focused, more disciplined. So tomorrow afternoon, pay attention. Look around. Most people will be tired, scrolling, complaining, overstimulated, running on caffeine and stress. Be different. Go outside. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Protect your attention. Reset your mind. Because becoming stronger is not just about how hard you can push yourself. It's about how well you can recover in a world designed to exhaust you. And if you want more videos that help young men become calmer, sharper, stronger, and more disciplined in a distracted world, subscribe to the channel. Because the men who control their attention eventually control their lives.